Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. We got our turn. We have the reversal. Now, what happens next? That's what we're going to go through on this video. Also, we're going to catch up with gold and show you the exact targets I was looking for and what kind of trade strategy I did. Okay, so let's jump into it. We have an intraday. We're doing this video intraday at about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in getting these videos intraday, so you can make some more better decisions during the trading day, and maybe you see something that maybe I show something that you didn't see yourself, perhaps. It's 99 cents a month. Consider that, or if you just want to do it to support the channel, I appreciate all of you in the Discord. It comes with the Discord as well. So, okay, we have SPX on the daily time frame. We're going to zoom through a lot of these because they haven't, a whole lot hasn't changed. So let's just jump into it. And the big question from previous videos, if you have not watched them, go ahead and watch them. Do we get a lower low or a higher low? That's really what we're trying to figure out right now. Moving averages. All right, we're in a shortened week this week. We're underneath that 8 EMA. So right now, we're holding great posture to the downside. There's nothing to really do at this point. We're not getting a big red bar. We had a nice gap down, but just remember that volatility came down. It's still elevated, but it came down quite a bit. So just keep in mind that all of the moves aren't going to be like this anymore. Now, today, we're down 1% on the S&P and 2% on the NASDAQ, and it feels like we're not doing anything. So just be patient. Moves are not going to be as drastic, but they're wonderful trading. Wonderful trading. So we have the McClellan oscillator. Again, showing some strength here. Will we get a lower high? Let's see if this starts to bend. I was anticipating just a downtrend here. I don't know if it's not supposed to be perfect, but it's just to represent a trend lower, just like we had with this one. So let's see if we get a turnaround here. Again, we're near this neutral point, and I want to see if we can hold, maybe get back down. I don't know if we make new lows. I would love to see positive divergence in this. We don't have to, but we'll see. Here's our oscillators. Here we have the bullish crossover. That is fantastic. Okay, we're gonna be looking for a low. Do we get a higher low or a lower low? If we get a lower low, that's gonna create divergence here. I'm just leaving this as a place marker here. We should get a higher low in the MACD with a lower low in price, if price even gets down there. All right, and I'm going to show you on the 65-minute and lower time frames what we're looking for to hold price, some retracements and things like that. So RSI beginning to turn, slow stoke, and getting a early sell signal. So if this rolls all the way over here, we're getting the cross already. That's a sell signal, and we'll look for this to cycle all the way down. DMARC. All right, we have the 13 count. All right, we're getting to that point to where we can still get a 13 count here, and if price wants to continue here with a 1, let's see if we can look for a 9 count on the way down. Awesome oscillator, same thing as the MACD. We're waiting to see if there's divergence. Let's go to SPY. Here's the money flow index. We have positive divergence here. So is that all we need to get our reversal and we make no new lows? That's quite possible. We know about the Bollinger Band. We already had our buy signal. Didn't quite make it to the 20 on this indicator, but close enough. Volume shelves, again, just real quick, if we do make it down to a new low, we're looking for this shelf here at about 470. Elliott oscillator. Once again, we just made a new low. We don't have a positive divergence for any buy signal. Let's go through QQQ. Still in the downtrend. We got a reversal. We're at support right now. Is this it? Are we, do we get our A, our B, and now we're forming a 1-2 setup? That's something we're going to keep in mind. It's not one of the major projections that I'm looking for, but certainly on the watch list. So we'll see if we see some strength. NVIDIA leading us down. We got a reversal. This can break out of the channel eventually, but we'll have to see if we get a low or lower low. IWM. Nothing else to really report here. This was a lot weaker. I was in futures trade. We're trading the micros and just gave us a slight profit, but this isn't going anywhere. So the market seems like it wants to hold up a bit, and maybe the rotation will come out of small caps while the NASDAQ rests or back and forth or whatever the case is. But we got out of that trade and we shorted gold. I'll show you that in a minute. Diamonds. Again, nothing to really see here. Maybe rejecting off this point. And VIX. Okay, so this is one of the main reasons why we shorted the market. We got back to the breakout of this channel. Reversal candle, getting some follow through. Let's see if we can close this gap here, maybe tomorrow. Again, it's a little bit lighter trade because of the short week, but we should see this at least close by next week here. And then we'll see again if we can make a new high. What's the setup? Is this a falling wedge for a new high, or just a leading diagonal that gives us a high or low in the market, and a lower low in the VIX? Okay, let's check out gold. All right, so in the Discord, we first looked at the daily time frame, and we're just really trying to give a layer of possibilities for a channel. So I made 3 of them so they would have the nice touches on this low or this high and all the way through this high. So that was the benefit of the doubt, and didn't quite get there yet. But I mean, the markets can still go up. It's in a parabolic move. So we have some room. We hit the targets. Let's see what happens. A lot of the price action happens overnight. And then here's our targets. And this was, I haven't really charted gold in a very long time, but this was the correction. And now this is the impulse wave. So this can be a 1, 2, and then perhaps this is a 3, 4, and then 5 and complete. So I know that there's other ways you can do it. You can still go 1, 2, and then you can have a 1, 2, and this is all 3. There's ways to do it, but I think it fits just well here. And I can probably do some measurements off of wave 1 and 2 and to get into here, but I have not done that yet. But what I was really looking at was just a higher degree correction, not the primary, but maybe intermediate. And so on this wave here, we have 1, 2. Wave 3 is done. We got a nice pullback for a 382 retracement and into a wave 4. A steep correction there. You notice the rule of alternation. You have the sideways move. It's a flat pattern, expanded, running flat here. And then in this move, it appears to be a zigzag. I'm not going to go down to lower time frames to see. And then a sharp move to the upside for wave 5. And then in wave 5, looking at it, we have 5 waves in here. And we hit our 162 while we're on this upper time frame, this daily time frame. Here's the 127. That's our first major target. we got there, consolidated, and then basically in one night, overnight, moved 100 points into the 162. So those are our two primary targets. There is, if price gets on top of, maybe consolidates, does something, and gets on top of the 3344, that's the 162% extension, then there is a target range of a 786, and that comes from the extension from wave 3 down to wave 4 into this pocket here for the 200% of wave 3 into 4 here. All right, projecting out to wave 5. Now it's very common for the 162, very, very common for it to stop there. But we noticed in the overall market after the 2021 correction, the overall market made it to 200%. So I'm not saying it's out, but this is an objective short. And so that's why we shorted here. Here's the 65. And I just want to show you this because this looks like a beautiful 5-wave move. 1, 2, oops, gorgeous. Wave 3, right into our target. 4, and then now to complete wave 5, you have a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, consolidation, and as wave 4, triangle, and then wave 5 into our final target. So beautiful, beautiful moves here. There are minor targets there. At the 138, you saw the rejection off of it. So you had a little consolidation here, and then consolidation around the 150. There's awesome price action. You can't ask for much more than that. Now let's just see what happens here. We're starting to get a reversal candle on the 65. And let's see if we get some follow through, or maybe there's a tweezer top where both reversal candles are next to each other. And then you get some follow through. So at this point, just sitting right on top of that 33.44. Look at that. Sitting right on top of there. So we'll see what happens overnight. I may choose to swing this for multiple days or not. But so while we're set, okay, at the 12 minute, about the 12 minute to 1 minute mark, I'm going to place the video for in-out spreads. So on this reversal candle, we placed contracts for in-out spreads, put spreads, and specifically in the video that I place up top, will show you exactly how to do it. It's a set it and forget it type trade. I use it for trends, and I use it for possible reversals. It gives you plenty of time, and it protects you from all the Greeks, theta, Vega, and such. So consider that if you don't have time to stare at the screen all day. And then at the 5-wave move up here, a little bit early, I placed the futures sell contract, just one contract. So small position. All right. Let's go through the indices one more time. On SPY, here's the traditional look. We have our bear flag. We broke down from it. And what I suspect is we were forming a triangle, and it's so pretty. And that's how I caught it on ES. And then we have a triangle low that actually is steeper, or excuse me, more shallow than the one that we have here. It looks more like that. And so we'll just keep an eye on both of them. But what we're doing is triangulating. I have a feeling that this one breaks down, but what I'm going to look for is a triangle first. If this breaks down, we're going to look for lows. I'm looking for, just like the video from yesterday was labeled, sideways to lower at this point. All right. And so do we get tomorrow to 516, the options expected move? It's possible we don't, with volatility that's coming down. You know, the options expected move, we might not start hitting both ends of it. Okay. So that's very much a possibility that we don't hit it. We had a gap down here today, hit support, and had a bounce, and now we're testing the lows again. So let's see what happens there. And for individual members, I showed all the cycles and such that really it gives us a perception that it's going to be very difficult to the upside, but we have buyers too, so that just can create a equilibrium for some time. And with those cycles really all aligning up here in the end of April, there's possibles for new lows coming. Let's do... All right, starting to push down on the moving averages there, the 8 EMA. It's our momentum indicator. All right, so here's our MACD. We got our bearish cross. We're still in bullish territory, so price might accelerate as we get past the 0 mark. We'll keep an eye on that. No divergence back there. We're just place holding. And what could happen is a major divergence to a low somewhere around here. Or we could get a new low on the 65, so we'll see. And this is showing weakness. We have weakness in the RSI. It can go much further, and we can create positive divergences. So I'm not saying that the move is over, but I took some profit for this week. It's lighter trading, and volatility has gone down a bit, and so I took off any expirations that I had for this week, because we're already in oversold territory. So I don't want, what if we were wrong and we just got a higher low exactly from where we are now? What if this is an A, we got our B in, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That can catch us off guard. You want to take profits when you can. That's why we have multiple trades, multiple contracts. And, these nice in-out spreads that are placed. I have one on NVIDIA for a put spread. And if we go much lower, maybe 1% or 2, that's going to fill by itself. And we had multiple contracts of puts on those. We took all of them off and let the swings ride. And so here we're still heading lower, almost into that oversold territory. We'll see what happens with that little bounce. We had a little shenanigans here. Let's see if we go a little bit lower. Our DMARC. So we had the 9 count sell. I missed that yesterday. I probably didn't put it on here. And so we had our sell signal here. It's a beautiful 9 count with a rising, bearish rising wedge. That little move there. We broke down from the wedge, the bigger wedge. And now we're starting to get a little count here. And, maybe this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. After we get the exhaustion, maybe we have another little bounce. This could, be nesting for a second, and then we get a larger drop. Awesome oscillator. Bollinger Band didn't quite touch. We're on the lower end, so you see, price is going to have to, you see it starting to squeeze. It's going to have to start pushing lower at some point, but we might get a little bounce soon. Okay, so let's look at our... Okay, so this says at any point we could start correcting higher, all right, getting a higher low. These are some retracements from the entire move from A to B. If B is already done at the 50%, if it's done, then we can actually set another retracement from this. Perhaps this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move, and we're getting a wave 2 here into possibly the 50, 60 at 527, 523. So if we see price holding in this zone and really getting a push higher, closing gaps, and then the this downtrend line, that would be full confidence that we had our higher low already and we're correcting higher at that point. Okay, but still corrective because we have an ABC. There's a possibility that there's a 1, 2, 3 and some little tiny 4 in here. All right, you can never say it's for sure. But this is what we see right now. So this little pocket, I know that's a lot of what ifs here, all the way down, right? So that's what I mean. Just make sure you take profit as we go. I don't see anything that's going to stop price right here and now. But at that point, this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 in here. All right, so all of these possibilities. Here is what I think is happening with the sideways to lower. Either this is an ABC, all right, and then you have a 1, 2, wave 3, 4, and 5 to get a new low directly, or this is just a larger triangle that you have an A already done. We're working on an ABC for B, C, D, and E, and then you head lower. Okay, so really, we're going to be looking at this downtrend, and this downtrend. This will be our first sign. The downtrend here, the 8 EMA, the 20 on the daily time frame, all of those will give us confirmation if we start to go higher. If we can get above all of those, then we can start counting the structure as some sort of bullish possibilities, and we'll look that direction. All right, but for now, I think with the cycles pointing lower, we're at least going to go sideways for a little bit, and then maybe break out or break down. Yes, but OptionsTender, you didn't tell us which way the market is going to go. That's not how trading works, you guys. You give the best scenario, and then you give reactions to it. So we're swinging to the downside, and we have reason to believe that we're breaking here, that we go lower. And if that changes, then we have to change. You have to hedge. You have to do what you got to do to save your account. SMH. Same thing. Broke down. We'll see if we hit the options expected move. This is more likely to happen here. IWM. Really, we're going to want to see a little bit of help from the small caps to show which direction is happening. I mean, right now, the first signal that this might be heading a little bit higher would be this downtrend line here. Diamonds. Diamonds are forever. Still really working out this bear flag. I just left it here for shits and giggles. It's still in the bear flag. We'll see if it breaks down from there or just keeps riding up or something like that. But so long as the VIX is above that channel, and I know the channel here is a little bit different. So maybe this channel is dominant and we break down from here. All right. But as long as on the daily time frame we're holding onto this channel, we have something our back against this. So you can be bullish on the VIX here if you want to. But if your channel is like this and you have a breakdown in that channel, you can be bearish on it as well. That's what makes a market, you guys. And you know when to be wrong. If you break above here and start moving higher, you know that this is likely to be wrong. So you trade off of what you want to trade from and know when you're wrong. That's it. But I see a rising wedge here, a little breakout, and let's see what happens after this. All right, let's give one last look here at Bitcoin because we're waiting for something to happen. On the daily time frame, we're holding the top here. So I don't know if we're already considered a breakout and you can go directly from here. But if the market heads lower, I could imagine that this would give us a little bit lower of a move, but it's really hard to say. I'm not going to short this because it looks like it just wants to break out and push off of this entire sector. And there's been plenty of consolidation. So if this really starts to catch some upside, we'll throw on some in-out spreads on those as well, just so we can wait and watch. And with the volatility, they should work out nicely. Daily time frame, we already had our positive divergence, and the momentum's up. So here's our downtrend from the RSI. Haven't broken out from that yet, so there's a clue that maybe we still have a little wedge there and could head lower, and a slow stoke if that turns over. So looking for opportunity. Will we miss it? I don't know. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, had it earlier. What we're really looking for is a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move, and a breakdown. Is that just a 1 and we're getting a really shallow 2? That all that says to me, if we start breaking out faster, all that says to me is this was a fake break, and you're getting shorts covering, and it's going to be a really hectic move to the upside, and that's super positive if this is all of the correction that you get and you get a big move. That is just means momentum is insane, and that Bitcoin in no time will probably make brand new highs. All right. Hope this information helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the Discord.